exhausted and despair. Would you say those two words?
Exhausted and despair.
Then we have another one, also with a little word in it. We can find the little word in this word. Yes, cat. Cat, right at the beginning. And this is catastrophe, yes. So a catastrophe is when something terrible happens. If you saw a tornado coming through the door, that would be a catastrophe. Would you give me a face like, oh my goodness, if it was a catastrophe? That's a good catastrophe face. Okay, so now we have three words here. Let's say them together. Exhausted, despair, catastrophe. So I'm going to leave these up here, and I'm going to share a story with you. I love this story. Yes, it's called The Wedding, and I love the pictures in it, and in the story, all of these words are in there. So I want you to listen. And when you hear one of these words, you're going to hold up your hand like a stop sign, and you're going to say, stop, and then whatever word it was that you heard, like stop, exhausted. So you're going to have to be such good listeners. So let's practice real quick. Pretend I'm reading, and I said, I ran in a marathon, and afterwards I was exhausted.
Stop!
Exhausted. Oh, they are good. Okay. How about this one? There was a flood in my basement, and it made a mess of everything. It was a catastrophe.
Stop! Catastrophe!
Oh, you are ready to go. I'm going to leave these words up here. Exhausted, despair, and catastrophe. And get ready to say stop in the word when you hear it. Miss Brindle Cow, all sweetly brown, walked along the path to town, listening to the wedding bells of St. Michelle. She saw a pig beneath the tree. Alas, pig cried, I've cranked my knee. I'm the organist in church. I'll have to leave them in the lurch. This wedding won't be quite as good. I'd play my heart out if I could. Miss Brindle Cow said, don't despair. Climb on my
back. Stop! Despair!
Ooh, good listening. Climb on my back. I'll take you there. They spied a turtle lying down. He said, I'm on my way to town. I wish it wasn't quite so slow. I started out a week ago. I'm the florist. Pomeroy and weddings are my special joy. I won't be there, I'm sad to say. There'll be no flowers in church today. Miss Brindle Cow said, don't be gloomy. Climb on pig's back. It's nice and roomy. A duck sat rubbing her sore feet. I'm made to swim and quack and eat. Walking's very hard for me, so this is a catastrophe.
Stop! Catastrophe!
Oh, goodness. I'm the pastor. Who will be there to hear the vows and say a prayer? Miss Brindle Cow said, please calm down. I will take you into town. A rabbit leaning on a gate fanned himself. I'm very late. My beauty shop is in the city. I came to make the bride look pretty. I've got my lipstick and my blusher. I'm also meant to be an usher. This is such a special date, and here I am, so late, so late. Miss Brindle Cow said, you'll be needed. Climb aboard, and they proceeded. A chipmunk that the turtle knew said, I don't know what to do. I'm the chef for this affair, and I've been wandering who knows where. I'm all worn out. I'm quite exhausted.
Stop! Exhausted!
At least the wedding cake is frosted. This time we're going to use the word despair. And remember, one of our animals was in despair because they weren't going to get there in time. They were so sad. Tell your partner what might make you feel despair. Go ahead. And eyes up here. Oh, good listening. I'm going to have you hold on to your thoughts for a second. And the next word is catastrophe. So catastrophe is when something really bad happens. So my husband's parents have a dog, and that dog jumped up and bit into their Thanksgiving turkey. And then they couldn't eat it, and it was a catastrophe. Oh my goodness. So I want you to think in your mind, something that could be a catastrophe. Keep it in your mind. Don't tell anybody yet. Don't tell anybody. You got a good one? Okay. This time, we're going to do a whip around. Now, a whip around is this. You get in your mind the catastrophe. I'm going to point to you, and you're going to tell me the catastrophe that you thought of. And if somebody before you says the same thing that you were going to say, that's okay. Just say it anyway. You might say it twice. Okay, got what you're going to say in your mind?
Yeah.
Okay, wait till I point to you. A catastrophe. Say it nice and loud.
A catastrophe.
Give me an example of one.
There was a bird inside my house.
Oh my
And broke a
goodness.
lot of glass.
That would be a catastrophe. What else?
Catastrophe. I was catastrophe when my cat pooped on my rug.
Oh, that would be a catastrophe too. Okay.
I got bitten in a tree.
Oh, I can tell. That would be a catastrophe. Get ready to tap. Bunch. Ooh, gotta listen for that. I'm gonna do it one more time, and you move your tokens. Bunch. 4 tokens. Slide down.
Yes.
Slide down. All 4. Okay. Now you're going to slide them up and write in the grapheme the letter that stands for the sounds. Here we go. Write it in your first. Then Oh, let's see if you choose the correct spelling for the See that there's a consonant before it. Okay, you're going to look at me and you're going to tell me, did you spell it with a TCH or a CH? You spelled it with a CH. Nice. Okay, so take your pencils, take your line of paper, and you are now going to write in what happened to Chipmunk and use words in there. If you can use our vocabulary words in there too, that would be amazing. But that's a real challenge. I don't know though, your teacher did tell me that this is a very amazing class. So you might be up to the challenge to use those words too. I'll write them on the board over here so people on this side can see them. We had exhausted, and we had despair, and we had catastrophe. Okay. I think some of you are thinking of ideas, aren't you? Yeah. Why don't you turn to the people at your table and tell them what your ideas are so far for writing. Okay. I'll listen in over here. What are some of your ideas for writing about Chipmunk?
He was exhausted after running.
Oh my goodness. Because he wanted to get to the wedding? Why do you think he chose to run?
Because he was late.
Why do you think he was late? Did he start off too late?
Because he was too busy getting ready.
You could write a story about how he was too busy getting ready. I wonder if there's a word that we could use in there. Bunch?
After a bunch of getting ready.
Oh, after a bunch of getting things ready to go. Maybe he had lunch. And it took him a long time to eat. Who knows?
Maybe a bunch of
It could be. Did you have an idea? Go ahead.
Or take a shower.
Definitely.